We have a saying around here.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, no brains, no headache.
Well, hello, boys.
What's up? What's up?
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Heyo, welcome to the show. How we doing today? Arkansas Razorbacks.
We're doing all right.
Yeah. Matt's going to have a couple drinks this episode. It's been a while since you've done that.
So the thing is about it, I texted you yesterday and I was like, Jordan, I've never felt this good on a Sunday in like, I don't know, forever.
All I said was, that's weird.
It is weird. I was like, what do you do with yourself that you're just like hanging out? And I was like, all right. I mean, I went and had good supper and I like did some shit around the house.
Whoa. Slow down.
I vacuumed. I didn't clean anything, but I vacuumed.
Look at you.
Dude, look at me go. What's with the sunglasses today, man?
I am embarrassed. I don't want anyone to see me, so I'm hiding behind this low cap and the sunglasses. It's the chick approach. You know, they're out in public. They don't want to be seen. And, you know, I can do what I want. I can wear whatever I want. I wore goddamn dreads last week. So, you know, just wearing something different.
Might as well, man.
I'm hiding. I'm hiding. This is going to be cast to the public, and I'm hiding. So, there's that. What do you want me to move this way?
Yeah, scoot that way a little
bit.
bit.
What the fuck? Does this fucking setup? We weren't going to swear, and there I go.
Yeah, there we go again. NFL draft coming up on this Thursday. We're recording on Monday. You're hearing this on a Tuesday. Your Vikings have 2 first-round picks, 9 and 23. What do you think they're going to do with them?
Well, first of all, 11 and 23. Glad you did your homework.
Yeah, that's the one.
I don't know. Your Panthers last year, they had a first overall pick. That's got to be pretty exciting. I don't think the Vikes are going to go that high, but I don't know. Good chance that they pop up there in the 3, 4, 5 area and try to get their man. We'll see. I don't know. A lot of speculation. You go on X, you go on Twitter. That's all you're going to see is a million different scenarios. I don't know if you saw my tweet, but it was very late at night, and it was actually just very PG. But I saw all this Tom Brady to the Vikings shenanigans. People are just going for clicks. I fell for it. But there's even that speculation that the old TB12 might go to the Vikings. So once that rumors started coming out, I was like, okay, I can't really believe anything. I think come Thursday night, the Vikings will have either Drake May or J.J. McCarthy on their roster. I hope. I mean,
it's pretty set in stone now that we got Caleb Williams followed by Jaden Daniels to the Commanders. After that, we do not know what Bill Belichick is going to do. It is going to be a wild Thursday night.
What's Bill going to do?
I don't know. That's the thing.
He's just going to watch the draft. He's not going to make any decisions for the Patriots because he no longer works for them.
Well, that is also a good call.
You know what? This is no brains, no headache. As you can tell, we do our homework. Dude, Matt's messing up the picks. He thinks Bill Belichick is still with the goddamn Cleveland Browns. Like, what's going on here?
Well, first off, it's the Patriots.
Oh, yeah,
with the Browns in the 80s. But, I mean, we're batting 1,000 here. But, honestly, without the Panthers being in the first round, I'm pretty far out of it. I will be even more far out of it if they trade their picks and go into the first round to get someone because we have 33 and 39. I just want to hold on to those and pick some good defensive players.
All right.
Maybe a first round, maybe like a first round talent that we get there at 33 or 39.
I don't know. It's going to be fun. I'm sure some people are like, who cares? Who gives a rat's hind end about the NFL draft? I don't know. I find it interesting. It's fun. At least the first round. Anything past the first round, I'm pretty lost. And all I'm after is skill position players, quarterbacks, running backs, wide receivers, where'd they go and why.
You get to the 6th round, you're like, this guy took a guard. It's like, who cares? This guy took a wide receiver. It's like, I'm interested.
But I'm still going to look. I'm still going to check the 7th round results. And I'm just going to look for the Vikings logo. Skull Vikes. We'll see what happens. I don't know, Matt. We're gonna see. It's gonna be exciting.
I do this thing every single year with the Panthers. I like look up their draft picks, and then it's like every single draft pick is a stud in college. Like you're not gonna be like, this guy didn't play in college. So I look it up and I'm like, wow, this guy could be the next All Pro, and it's like, probably not though.
Well, we'll see what happens. NFL draft.
I get into it so far. Like there was one year the Panthers picked up a guy named Ben Boulware, who played for Clemson, and like he was a middle linebacker, like not big enough to play at the next level. But like I was like, oh dude, they got him at an undrafted free agent steal. He's gonna be the next Luke Kuechly. He was not the next Luke Kuechly. In fact, they paid him in Lunchables.
It's not a bad thing, It's a packaged charcuterie, and that's where it's at. We've been having charcuterie our whole lives. We'll see what happens, Matt. Good time for sports right now. If you're a true sports fan, NHL playoffs, NBA playoffs, MLB's in full swing. Throw in the NFL draft there right now. That's pretty good stuff. So we'll see what happens. I tell you what, I had a Sunday dinner to remember the other night. Made some steaks for the fam. I got signed up for grilling against my will. And, I wanted to do a good job. I knew the pressure was on. And so I throw them on the grill, and I take a few items inside and come back out, and there is a full-on grill fire, okay? I think my problem was I didn't click the tongs twice, which is a sign of good luck. I don't think I did that now that I think back on it, but it was a doozy. There was a gigantic fire, dude. I had to put this thing out, but I also had the peace of mind. I could be a firefighter because I had the peace of mind of flipping them real quick just to get a quick sear on the other side and then trying to salvage it.
And your eyebrows went with it?
Oh, yeah. There were some family members who blatantly didn't take any steak, and, I don't blame them. It was pretty charred, but what can you do? Got to watch out for it. Then I beat my nephew twice in driveway ball. That was a nice boost for the self-esteem. Really needed that. But don't try to eat a bunch of steak and fixings and then go play driveway ball.
Ooh, tough break.
That's what I did. Is a good way to burn off the cows, but my goodness,
I did have this one time that I started my grill. I made the worst mistake ever where I turned the gas on. And then I started talking to my neighbor
for
like 10 minutes. And then I was like, oh, gotta go start this up, and hit it and just gone forever. Aaron Hernandez, my eyebrows. They're not really that visible anyways, but we did it.
We're in a new era. I already messed it up this episode. No more swearing on the podcast.
Keep it to.
So we're going to try out for AM radio.
I don't think we swear that much.
I swear a lot.
I mean, we do, but it's in normal context. I think radio will be okay with that.
Yeah. You'd think I'm a sailor who just got dumped by his girlfriend at sea, just cussing up a storm.
I'm really bad about, like, even in a professional setting, if someone messes up, it's so much easier instead of like, oh yeah, they messed this up. It's so much easier to just say, hey, they shit the bed.
Yeah.
And everyone gets a little laugh about it, but then they also like shit the bed. So, I mean, you got to be on both sides of the ball.
I feel like I would use it as a filler, just be dropping F-bombs left and right, just kind of fill the gaps there.
I figured out that's what kind of comedians do when they're just like, fuck, fuck, fuck. And
yeah, there's $3 in the swear jar right there. I don't care if it was an example. But I want to know, I was thinking of some alternative swear words and wanted to get your take. Are they allowed? Do they cross the line? Are we not going to count it? What's the deal? What's the ruling? Need some official stats here. What about, what if I called you a no good dingleberry?
I would rather you call me a swear word. I feel like that's more offensive.
If I called you a no good dingleberry?
That's the thing about it. It's like, if someone says, Matt, you're a fat piece of shit, I don't really find offense to that. But it's like, oh, Matt, you look like you gained a little weight. I'm like, wow.
You look pretty. What? You look shitty.
Yeah, exactly. It's one of those things where it flirts in that realm of like, if you say something that's like, oh, yeah, nutcracker, you. I'm like,
you no good dingleberry, you.
They thought about it is the thing.
What about chode gargler?
Okay, that's just derogatory.
Towards who?
People that fucking
chodes?
slurp dongs and it's just to whores.
I mean, it takes two to tango.
Yeah, I mean, if you're a chode gargler, it's most of the chicks I've ever hung up in my life.
Nice.
Like all one of them.
So chode gargler off the table.
Yeah, I would say no. That's kind of just mean.
And then final one, what about backstabbing Jew?
See, that's not bad.
Okay.
Mainly, I think you've called me that in the last week,
Well,
so that's weird.
That's probably why it came up. It was in the subconscious, and I wanted a ruling on that. So if you're scoring at home, only the backstabbing Jew is accepted by Matt.
Yeah, I'd take that.
I can't say you no good dingleberry or chode gargler.
I did say a joke about Jews the other day, and a guy came up to me and was like, I texted my wife about that. It's hilarious. And I was like, why is that hilarious? It's like, she's Jewish, and I'm always looking for new Jew jokes. And I was like, what?
I don't know. I had somebody holler at me about, like Catholic jokes, and they just thought it wasn't great that I was raised that, and then I make jokes about it. And I was like, after that was all said and done, I was, oh, thank you. I was like, I don't think you'd be the ideal customer for one of my shows. So
Yeah, maybe.
why don't you just delete me off the old list so you don't ever get invited?
I mean, that'll happen.
That will happen. Episode 197. What do we got? Let's just jump in. Let's go. Let's get it on.
All right. I've decided that I'm done watching movies.
Okay, that's redonkulous.
Unless I really want to see it. But
Okay.
I've been on a huge kick of I just go on YouTube and type in like whatever movie I'm thinking about and recap, and it's 15 minutes, pretty entertaining. I get a narration of a voice.
I think for your attention span's sake, you should still watch full length films.
See,
I feel like you're at that point. You are just chipping away at your mental capacity to focus on something for an extended period of time.
See,
and over time, that's going to wreak havoc.
I don't like it. I mean, there's like a movie comes out and I wait like 2 weeks and I get to just watch 15 minutes and I get the gist of it. Unless I really want to see the movie, then I'll go to it in theaters. But I don't think
No, you won't. When's the last time you went to the theaters?
And Lord of the Rings 3 was pretty sweet.
Yeah, been a while.
I mean, I don't go to theaters, and when I do go to theaters, I just buy a bunch of shooters and end up blacking out halfway through and don't remember the half. The last time I went to a movie, actually, this is like probably 3 or 4 times ago, I got detained for stealing traffic cones from the cops.
What?
Yeah, so I went to like
When did this happen?
TED 2, I think.
Okay, what's the story here?
So I went to TED 2.
Wait, before you tell it, remember this podcast has high implications on your professional life.
This was before I was even working for the company I do work for.
Isn't that weird how that works?
Yeah, that's weird. But I like literally the last movie I went to in a theater was Joker
Okay.
with you. And we did bring booze in. But that was actually a movie I wanted to see. in
God, I have
theaters.
terrible memory.
I don't think I've been to a movie other than that. Like, unless it's like a sports movie, I'm like, I don't really want to see that. Like, I don't want to see anything. But so I go to TED 2, you have a couple margaritas beforehand, you drink a bunch during it, and then you go steal a bunch of traffic cones and put them in the back of your friend's car, and the cops pull you over, and they're like, hey, well, we got him for minor consumption. I'm like, dude, I'm 22. They're like, oh, cool. Can you just go put the cones back? And I was like, you got it.
That was that.
Put the cones back, and then we drove home, and then I stole a couple more cones on the way home.
Nice.
I wasn't driving, responsible.
There you go.
But yeah, I mean, it was just the weirdest night of my life because actually the cones that we took were so far away from the movie theater. He's like, just put them back. So he followed me like 2.5 miles back to the movie theater. It was weird.
That sounds like a weird night. What's the fascination with street cones? Why are we, as humans, attracted to stealing street cones, street signs, what have you?
I don't know. Like, the thing about it is the friends that I was hanging out with then, we always said like, oh, sit on a cone. Like when you didn't want to do something?
Like gay?
No, like
Sounds kind of gay.
like sit on a cone and spin. Or like
Yeah,
flip.
that sounds gay, like it's going up your ass.
It was very gay. Maybe I was just in like one of those gay underground beat up clubs.
You didn't know about?
Yeah, it was just like I texted him later and I was like, "Thanks for kicking my ass."
I'm picturing the cone. It's coming to a point, and if you're sitting on a cone, that's very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Can you see the gayness now? A little bit?
But I mean, always walking home from bars, I was like pretty good about not stealing stuff.
Okay, they're going to not being gay.
Well, I can't say that. I mean, I sat on a lot of traffic cones on my way back to the bar, but
Seems weird.
back home. There was one time there was one fence that I always jumped and then jumped over a street because it was like a million times faster to Tap In Tavern.
Yeah.
And
The old shortcut.
there's still a fence that has like a divot in it from where we jump over. And one time I jumped over and like I caught myself on their Christmas lights and I didn't realize it because I was so drunk. And I made it like the entire way until it hit it was plugged in thing. And I was like 75 feet.
Just dragging Christmas lights.
Yeah.
But
But yeah, I mean,
jumping fences, it's one of America's pastime.
dude, it was fun though. I was gonna say another thing about. No, yeah, I don't know what I was talking about.
Did I make you lose it?
Yeah,
That's my bad.
what are we even talking about?
Movies, I think.
Oh yeah, so movies. I don't watch movies anymore. I just watch the recap. Big into TV shows. If you want to watch a really good TV show, Fallout on Amazon Prime is legit.
Is that where it's at?
It's good. I've never played the video game. It was one of those. It's like, oh yeah, if you play the video game, it would be awesome. It's like I just watched the show and it is awesome. It has Walton Goggins in it and some chick that's pretty hot.
I went on a real baseball movie kick there for a while. So I watched Major League, Rookie of the Year, Sandlot, Field of Dreams.
I hate Field of Dreams.
Field of Dreams.
That's a weird
It's
take.
a good. I put it on for background noise as I was accomplishing other things, but went on a real baseball movie kick. But that's all. I don't have any suggestions this week.
What's one movie that you wouldn't put on if you were gonna take a nap?
Like absolutely not put on.
Yeah.
Probably like Full Metal Jacket. A lot of shooting, yelling, shouting. You know, does that make sense? Is that what you're looking for?
I mean, I tried to put on Saving Private Ryan, and I was just locked in the entire time.
Well, I see that Dances with Wolves is on Amazon Prime, and it's Dances with Wolves could be the best nap movie of all time. And that's a pretty hot take right there. I'm pretty confident in saying that, and here's why, Matt. Because I don't know, unless you're very tired, you're not going to fall asleep right away. Dances with Wolves, it starts out with the Civil War. They're shooting at each other. It's a war scene. There's a lot of screaming, yelling, gun shooting, what have you. And then he gets, this hero badge and gets to just do whatever he wants, decides to move to the frontier. It takes a drastic downturn in how quiet it is because he's just like moving across the frontier.
It's essentially him narrating it.
Oh, Kevin Costner will put you to sleep. And then it's a long movie, so you could fall asleep for that part, and then you could actually wake up towards the end. There is like a final war scene, and then they ride off into the sunset. But ultimately, one of the best nap movies of all time. I think it beats Shawshank Redemption because Shawshank, Dances with Wolves is great too. It's fantastic.
Shawshank, I get sucked in.
That's what I was gonna say. It's such a good movie. You don't want to miss it, so maybe you don't fall asleep.
I will say this: Shawshank is a good nap movie if you watch it on like TNT or TBS when you get commercials.
But that's
because the commercial could put you to sleep.
Here's what I've noticed: that's got to be through a straight up cable service, because if you watch it on a streaming platform that has the ads, next time you guys watch this, listen for this, maybe you've already noticed it, you'll have a certain volume for the movie, right? And then it cuts to an ad, and that ad volume is right about here. I'm not making this up. check it out. Next time you're watching something and the ad comes on, notice it's freaking louder.
They call it the Office effect because the first person or first TV show to do it was The Office. That the as they start the Office theme song is
It's very loud.
decimals louder. It's insane.
I'm just saying, it really pisses a guy off, and it's not ideal for nap time.
Now that
you
I'm
need
thinking
a
back-
nice level volume if you want to get any quality napping in at all.
Andy Dufresne.
Yeah.
Now that I was thinking back of it, I was searching for something when I asked for the best or worst nap movie, and it was Days of Thunder.
Well, I was going to say that too.
Yeah.
That's because I've watched it
Yeah.
while trying to take a nap. Racing movie, and it's so the drastic change.
Yeah.
Because they'll be like whispering something in the pits to each other, and it's very mellow and like calm. And then they'll cut to the next scene and just cars flying by. Try falling asleep during that.
You want to know what I have a really weird nap movie the last like 2-3 months. Is two of them. It's War Dogs with Miles Teller and whatever Jonah, and then Lords of War with Nick Cage.
That sounds like a lot of gunshots. There's literally war in both of those titles. I avoid war when napping.
I think
and you go towards it. You run towards it.
Yeah, like Saving Private Ryan. I don't know why I go towards it, but those two, they have a lot of narration in it. And
That
anything that's like, all right, we did this to buy this. It's like, all right, great. I like it.
I'm trying to think of some other ones. Like they got to be really long too. The Revenant could be okay.
The Revenant's
I
pretty good
recently watched
because
that.
it's very hot right away, and then it's like, all right.
Yeah. I don't know. All sorts of Glenn Ross, mild stroke. That's okay. I feel like that one would be. It's just like raining the whole time, and they're trying to push real estate. I don't know.
I mean, getting back to it is I don't watch new movies.
Fair.
I just go on YouTube and watch them unless I really want to see them, and that only happens once every 2 years.
I did see something on the old X the other day that it was a jab at Biden for the state of the economy. And regardless of your opinion, I don't really care. But one thing because they had like, here's how many of these stores are closing, and Applebee's, and this and that.
We lost Kmart.
Yeah, and then I looked at the list, and one of them was a movie theater chain, and I was like, okay, good or bad economy or not, aren't movie theaters just kind of fizzling out just because it's like...
Okay, here, let me hear this out. There's a movie theater in town that closed, but if sports betting became available at like kiosks like they do in Montana, if that became a sports betting kiosk and you could just put every we're only open Sundays or Saturdays, and this is the game that's playing in each of them. You can bet at this. You can buy beer. How awesome would that be?
Matt, go to the bank and get a loan, brother. Write up the business plan.
Okay, one, we don't have any.
Well, then why are you pitching it?
I'm pitching it to like other people because I mean we've been in over 50 countries.
Matt, I'm just can I be honest? Can I be frank? You can be Matt. Can I be frank?
Yeah, that's fine.
I don't think many people want to take over an old, rundown movie theater and then invite a bunch of degenerate gamblers to it and have to go through the legalities of that as well as a liquor license and beer license just to try it out.
Okay, well, if it was all legal, I would have entertained the option.
Noted. Very
okay. Noted.
Very noted. Let's move on here. Episode 197. No brains, no headache. Okay, yeah, I got this beer chug side hustle. I'm sure some people have seen this on the internet. This guy posts up at sporting events.
Oh, yeah, I've seen this
whatever events, and he bets let's see, $20.
Yeah,
This man discovered the best side hustle of all time as he bets people $100 for their 20 to beat him in a chugging contest. And just try to guess how much money he makes at the end, because he's no joke.
Chugs it in 1 second.
And no matter how many people come up to him, they stand no chance as he's able to get it down in less than a second. And after a few hours of beating countless people at this tailgate, he ended up making a total of $440. Could you beat this guy? This
I was gonna say that he made like over $2,000, but I was like, wait.
Yeah, when I first saw the video, I thought it was going to be like $1,000, and I'm like, no way. But 440, unless my math is incorrect, that's still 24 beers.
440, that's 22 beers.
22 beers, yeah. See, my math wasn't correct.
But and then if I would have won, I would have gotten $100. That's genius. That guy deserves the Nobel Peace Prize.
I mean, if you did it, maybe like twice a week, you just go Saturday, like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and that's your gig. You could make an okay living.
Yeah, so you're making damn near $1,400 a week times 52. You need to find different sporting events to go to, obviously.
Pretty good little gig. But how do you do that? Back to 24 beers? My goodness.
That guy's just a garbage disposal.
Yeah, he sucks down the beer in 1.4 seconds. And
I mean, we've seen Samson do it, and I think that guy's faster by a lot.
The guy we just watched is faster. Yeah, that's why he's...
Yeah, that's insane. Like, that's... my drunk self would definitely challenge him, and then I'd be like, oh, I hadn't started yet, and his beer's gone.
Maybe that's what you got to prey on, is like the really drunk people who like think they can do it, but you got to go into that fresh. I'm a shotgunner. I've been known to shotgun beers. That's my preferred method of rapid consumption, and you really got to go into it. You got to have a good mindset, but you also have to be physically ready. Can't really do it on an empty stomach. It's actually best if you have a large meal in your stomach. You think that's the contrary, but it's not. And sometimes they go down good, sometimes they don't. I always say I enjoy doing it. I never said I was good at it, but I enjoy it. It's a lot like men golfing,
Terrible.
Yeah. See?
I mean, this actually brought up a story that I told the other night, that I ran into an old buddy, and he was like, oh, you lived with the football. You were the guy that had the gambling ring. And I was like, what do you mean gambling ring? He's like, everyone came over to play blackjack at your table. And I was like, oh yeah, that was me in college. And then he was like, you had the case race too. And in my college house, we just opened up everything and like had a table in the middle. It's like first person to finish 30 beers. Of course.
Like individually or team up?
No, team up.
I was like, 30 yeah, we'll be here for 48 hours.
Fucking PDB, shout out, demolished 24 beers. His partner did 6. And there was a time where it's like, all right, they're going to win, but you could bong beers if you wanted to. And there was one guy that's like,
why not?
You know what? He's like, I'm going to bong. And we had this massive bong. And he's like, I'm going to bong 5 beers.
At once?
Yep. And he does it. And then he's like,
and
he's like, oh God. And like goes to the middle. And I've never seen more shit come out of a human's mouth than this. And
Oh, my sweet Jesus.
Seemed appropriate.
And the first thing he says, shout out Pitts, he goes,
This is our shout out segment brought to you by Matt.
If he listens to this, I'll be fucking over the moon.
You watch your mouth. This is a family friendly show.
And he goes, Sinead Perkins earlier. And I was like, oh, you think Perkins was your downfall in that? It wasn't the 5 beers you funneled into maybe less than 10 seconds.
I've been dabbling in the Perkins lately. I'm back on it.
Dude, it's so good.
I was upset at them for a while because they weren't open ever.
The service isn't great.
You have to go. Okay, I went. When did I go? I went. I had dinner at like 10 p.m. on like a Friday.
As one does.
Oh, thank you. That's a good time to go. There's nobody there. I didn't even lock my car in the parking lot because there was no other vehicles. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna let it ride. Plus, the North Side Bismarck, pretty safe.
Anyone
safe
that works at a Perkins or like similar restaurant smokes cigarettes.
I was just about to say. I usually tell my server, "Hey, take as many smoke breaks as you want."
Yeah.
Okay, I'm fine.
If you park in the back, you're gonna see at least 3 or 4 of them out there smoking.
Well, what else are they supposed to do?
Their job.
No, that's why people take up smoking is to get out of work, Matt. You of all people should know this.
Worst month of my life.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. That's all I had though. Beer chug side hustle. Dude took down 24 beers, made almost $500. Sounds like a nice little gig.
Yeah, I would have fallen for it immediately. Caitlin Clark got drafted number 1 overall to the Indiana Fever, I think it is.
There you go.
I'm not even going to like fact check that. I'm a big WNBA fan now. I don't know if you know this, but
I don't, because you just said that for the first time ever. So
I am going to be following the Los Angeles Sparks.
Oh, you're not even going with Caitlin Clark's team?
No, I'm going with pick number 2, Cameron Brink.
Is she attractive, Matt?
She's 6'4", blonde.
Not what I asked.
Oh yeah, she's really attractive.
Does that have anything to do with the new fandom?
Kind of.
But following the looks, pig.
I don't want to be a bandwagon, so I'm gonna go. She's an absolute G in college. She fouled out of her last game, and as she's leaving the floor,
double birds.
She just said, "Fuck you, bitch," to the ref.
Another one to the swear jar for Matt.
I'll take 2 for Cameron Brink. But then I looked it up, and she's actually dating a 6'6" blonde, very attractive rower for the Stanford team. Those children are going to be the best athletes in whatever sport they even sign up for.
I don't know. Ever since the Social Network, anybody who rows crew, I don't have a good feeling about.
Have you ever watched the Winklevoss twins, their cover band that plays?
I mean, I've seen a clip. You know, I've seen it exist.
It's not great.
I can't imagine it's great. Those guys were portrayed as the biggest douchebags in all of Hollywood history.
They were the Winklevoss twins were the biggest douchebags of all time that they lost a lawsuit that they probably could have won.
Maybe I'm mad at that Hammer. Are they twins? Hammer twins? Or is that one person who played the Winklevoss twins in the Social Network?
It was twins. I thought.
Yeah, the Hammer twins.
You can look it up. I think it was twins.
Is it the Hammer twins? I wonder if they have hammers. They're pretty large males, so I would assume yes.
If they didn't, it'd be pretty weird.
Hammer twins. What kind of
Hammer twins
search is this?
Did you mean black cocks?
Okay. Army Hammer. Dude, it's just one person. It's just Army Hammer. I think he has a brother, but they don't look alike. What? What's going on here? Hope our listeners are rolling over in their graves. He had abuse allegations. Wait, isn't this the guy who drinks blood or some shit? Gosh,
yeah, that's Army Hammer. I don't know where you're going down. Army Hammer is a psychopath.
So he played both of them. They had one guy play 2 people, the old Lindsay Lohan trick.
It is Army Hammer. Holy shit.
Yeah. Parent Trap all over again. You know what? Modern cinematography just blows my mind. Anyway, yeah, I don't like people who row crew, is all I was trying to say there, because of the Winklevoss portrayal in the movie The Social Network, who was played by Army Hammer. Long story short, I don't trust people who row crew. Is that fair?
It was actually funny. I flew into Omaha the other, year. This was a while ago, but there's like a man-made lake because they fucked up geography and they like diverted the Missouri River. So there's like part of the eastern side of the Missouri that's in Iowa or in Nebraska. And there's like one lake there, and that's where they row crew.
The people of Omaha do.
Yeah, or the
not Army Hammer.
Creighton, not Army Hammer.
Oh, okay.
Army Hammer only rows bitches that he doesn't consent to.
And then he drinks their blood. Apparently, he's
Yeah.
got a blood. What is it? He's a blood fetish. I guess I better. Just
I mean, he like ate a bunch of wieners or something. I don't know. It's weird.
blood
Army
fetish. What is his fetish? That's
Army
a weird
just
one.
just go onto his YouTube and just be like, hey, what are we doing here, man?
Oh, cannibalism. Yeah, that's
Yep.
blood. He allegedly. What?
Trying to read shit.
I cannot read very well.
I'm gonna go on his YouTube, and he is in fucking everything.
Is he? He's a cannibal.
Yeah,
allegedly.
I mean, Army Hammer, not good guy. Are we all on board with that?
Yeah, I agree.
Oh
with
yeah,
that.
the thing I wanted to talk about before I got on Cameron Brink being an absolute unit, and the LA Sparks are gonna win this. Caitlin Clark sold more jerseys in one day than the entire Dallas Cowboys team did last year.
Yeah, so nobody likes the Cowboys, so that's not that surprising to me. I don't know if that's worthy of a headline.
I think they just needed
To be honest.
I think they needed to say that because it's the Cowboys. But I think they could probably say that for most teams. Like, no one for the Carolina Panthers bought as many jerseys as the Cowboys.
Yeah, no, Caitlin Clark alone is way more entertaining than
I would say
anyone on the Carolina Panthers for the next few years to
But
come.
but
I would say.
if they didn't beat the Dallas Cowboys, what team did sell more jerseys than them? Maybe the Chiefs? Maybe
Chiefs.
the 49ers?
Maybe we just need a power ranking of jersey sales recently. And
It's
where's Caitlin Clark? She's right up there.
It's probably literally 49ers, Chiefs, Caitlin Clark, 50 feet of shit, the rest of the NFL.
I agree with that. Well, and yeah, the cross comparison, NFL.
What do you got for a fridge?
All right, so I came across this fridge. They said it was the perfect fridge. So I figured we could break it down for our listeners.
I can see it on my screen.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you can. Forgot about that. Technology these days, tell you what.
Dude, we're doing well here.
Oh, yeah. There we go. All right. So somebody's like, this is the most perfect fridge ever. Top row. For some reason, this person is keeping all their cash in their fridge, Matt.
Not a bad idea. So the guy, my old boss, Durwood, R.I.P., he kept all of his money in a Wheat Thins box in his freezer.
Yeah. Did you go snap it when you found out of his passing? So I'm just gonna munch on some.
No, he had moved to a different place beforehand, but I made sure to give it to his family before he left because they were like, all right, that's good. And I was like, did you grab the Wheat Thins box? And they're like, why'd you do that? I'm like, because there's probably like $20,000 in there.
I wouldn't be if they're just cleaning out cupboards and just threw it away. That actually reminds me, since we're on the subject, I saw a story of a young man who found $135,000 in cash right next to an ATM, and he turned it into police.
All right, come on, guy.
I mean, I go walking, hiking. Sometimes I find interesting shit on the side of the road. I'm like, one of these days, I'm gonna find something cool.
You should just start turning in like what you said, like call the police, be like, I found these 5 empty fireball shooters. I think you guys should need these.
You guys might want to come down here.
Yeah,
Bring some gloves,
yeah.
okay?
Someone
Bring some tape.
Someone pissed all over this.
Bring some traffic cones so Matt can sit on them in a very heterosexual manner. But yeah, I saw he turned it into police, and then I read all the comments just out of entertainment.
Here's how dumb I am of this picture. I thought those were ranch packets from like Domino's.
Right here?
No, the bottom one.
Oh, those are Zins. Those are cans of Zins.
Zimbabwe's.
There's about, I don't know, 20, 30 Zins. Zin tin. They're not tin. What are we calling those things? Zin can?
Yeah,
Zins.
Zins.
We'll just leave it at Zins. We got some milk, probably expired. This looks like a ranch, which I respect. Every fridge needs a ranch.
In the right, there's some sort of like a Tylenol, I think.
Yeah, there's pills all over. There's 2 pill bottles up here. Is that a diploma? That looks like a diploma in the back.
And then a banana that's been sitting there forever.
Those look like condoms right there.
Cigarettes with the lighter on top of it.
Ooh, that is a power move and a half.
And someone's keys. So you never know. Like you leave your keys. Have you ever left like your keys or something in the fridge?
In the fridge?
I have.
No, but the other day I may or may not have woken up and I was leaving my place and I found my keys in the corner on the floor of my bedroom. And one thing about my place is right when I walk in the door, I lock my door and I hang my keys like right there. That's where I keep my keys. For some reason, I got home and decided to throw them across the old apartment. And
I know when I get drunk is when I come downstairs and I'm already taking off my clothes.
Oh, yeah, I had a trail of clothes to my bed. It was like jacket, socks, and then my pants were right next to my bed. And, yeah, just...
Dude, I had
trail.
this thing where I was taking a huge shit when I got home. And I was peeing while I was pooping. And it went in between the seat and went all over my pants.
Okay.
Yeah, that was tough.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe
What's behind
maybe you don't have a chode and
this? What's behind the milk?
I don't know. What is that?
It either looks like a top of a coffee.
Looks like a gas mask.
It is a gas mask.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, it is. I was thinking it was like a top of a coffee filter that you'd put in there.
Yeah, so as far as besides like the banana, I don't see any food. What's this? Is this a gun?
Way down below, they have some Parmesan that doesn't expire, and I'm gonna assume what is a bunch of ribs in the bottom left.
Okay, Matt, right here. Is this a fire alarm?
Yeah, that is a fire alarm. That's nuts. That's insane.
What do you rate this fridge 0 to 10?
Based on my fridge or based on
What do you think?
I would give it a 6.
Really?
Like if I woke up to this fridge, I'd be like, sweet.
I mean, I'm gonna give it a 10 because on the top row alone, there looks to be at least $5,000 at least, maybe more.
I do this thing, and I've done this thing forever. Is I put cash places.
I'm gonna start just looking around.
Can
we treat it like an Easter egg hunt? Whatever I find, I can keep.
So I'm
because you're not gonna keep track of this.
No, I mean if you go into the bottom drawer of my nightstand, there's probably around $12,000.
And I bet you just toss it in there. You don't do you keep it nice and?
No, I mean it's just
Christ, man.
Here we go. But yeah, that is an absolute fucking stacked fridge.
All right, I give it a 10 out of 10. We'll get a picture up for our loyal listeners.
Yep.
Next up, what do we got?
Okay, let me paint a picture for you, Jordan.
Okay.
You are one of 12 kids in a family, and they name the 12 kids the 12 months of the year.
Oh, my.
What's your least favorite month you'd want to be named after? What's your most favorite?
Well, as a male, I think April would probably be my least favorite, or May, June, because those are actual.
Let's say you're a female. What would you want to be named?
The ones I just said.
Okay, perfect. What's the least favorite you'd want to be?
I was gonna say January because it's a terrible month, but
you could go by Janie, Jan.
Yeah, well, what's her name? Isn't there January Jones or whatever?
Yeah, exactly.
So that one actually, February would be terrible.
February would be
March would be weird. That's a verb. It's. I'm a December baby. I don't know. I'm indifferent about that.
I feel
okay
like
with it, but
October
it's not-
has to be at the top. Like Aki.
If you were a guy, then that could make sense, like Mr. October. But
If I was a guy or like any of them, honestly, August, not a bad name.
no, I would
Augie.
disagree. There was a guy I knew in college, and we called him August, and it was not a compliment.
Okay, well, I get that. I mean,
So,
but it's just like, all right.
September. That's just so long. What's up, September? It's like, what?
Could you imagine
9/11 and shit? Like,
just
not great.
Seppi
Oh man.
or like Burr?
I
There's
don't
not-
like any of these.
Yeah, there's not a lot.
There's 4 that work if you're a female. January, April, May, June. And that's it for me. There's 4 that work if you're a female. There's 0 that work if you're a male.
I think August works as male. It works. It's not great.
Once again, not a compliment.
Yeah.
I am traumatized with that name. I mean, it would be like, naming your kid Cricket. It's like it's not good associations with that. So,
I had a roommate in
like,
college.
would you name your kid Donkey?
Yeehaw.
He's either got a huge hog or he's a stoner, one of the two.
All right, so you're getting. I don't even know how they.
As a male, I'm saying none. Give me Adolf Hitler, give me Napoleon Bonaparte, and me in a room, a revolver, 2 bullets, and if my name is February, I'm double tapping myself. If that's what you're asking. If I'm a chick, I'm okay with January, April, May, June.
But what if back in the day they were like, all right, we're having kids and we're going to have a lot of them.
That's what they did.
And there's January, February. It's like, oh my God. I'm going to go by my middle name.
I don't know if you know this, Matt. A lot of weird people out there. When you see the families that have modern day, like any more than 4 kids, I feel like is a lot. But you have the whole bus. You have to have a special vehicle with rows of seating up to 12. You got the mom and dad up front, and then you got up to 10 kids in the back. That's way too many. And then they all dress the same.
Yeah.
And they're a weird, like, Southern religion. And there's a lot of question marks. And then they start getting accused of pedophilia. I feel like I'm just describing a reality TV show that I can't think of right now. 19 and counting.
Well, yeah, that one too. But like I was
John
thinking,
and Kate plus Kate. John and 8 plus Kate.
she got hot, by the way.
I think she dropped back off. What do I know? I don't know.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying.
Take Jordan's like, yeah, okay.
Okay, I did more homework than you this week.
Okay.
Clearly.
Okay.
But
Well, first off, fuck your couch, swear jar. But
where were you going with that? Were you trying to find it?
I was trying to find it. I didn't really find it that fast. But,
Okie dokie.
okay. But if you have someone that's like, okay, you're going through and you're like, oh shit, my name's this. Oh yeah, this is where I was going with it.
Okay, he found it, people. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Matt's got it.
But
Pay attention.
anytime you like are meeting someone, you're like, oh sweet, how many kids do you have? 1 to 3? Cool. It's like no one has more than 3 kids now.
Well, there's a reason for.
And if they do, I'm not talking to them.
That's fine. I'm not going to judge you to your face behind your back by all means. That's just how I operate. But there's a reason for them having a lot of children back in the day, Matt. They had fields to plow. Okay, they had crops to harvest. They had cattle to tend to, livestock to feed. So the more kids you have, the more free labor you have at your farm/ranch and/or ranch. And that's why they did that. And also, they didn't believe in condoms either.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, they just used.
And they were
garbage
really
bags.
good Catholics, They went in with the intention of having children. You see what I'm doing here, Matt? That's what they were doing. Man, I've been telling people about soaking lately. Man, is it a hot topic? People love talking about
Have
that.
you watched Amish Mafia?
Yes, I have.
Dude,
actually.
such a good show.
I wish they would show hardcore soaking in that. They only just do softcore soaking. So
Amish Mafia is freaking nuts. He's like, yeah, I can drive a car because, you know what, I don't care, but I'm still part of the Amish people.
I mean, just the idea that this religion allows, the man to penetrate the woman and then not move and just hang out there. And then there's an occupation in the Mormon culture of being a jumper. You can charge per jump. I'd hustle the shit out of that. And that allows the penetration to happen. It just blows my mind. I mean, I don't get it. I actually do have a joke. I've kind of been workshopping. I moved down to Arizona years ago, and on the way down, I'm like, oh, I'll stop and see my friend in Denver. And then I'm going to go camping in Utah because I was so naive to the world. I thought Utah was just kind of always warm. It was January. Your name is January, and that's what it was. And it was cold, and I was very unprepared. But my joke is, I say something like it was so cold out that my dick was soaking inside of itself, just like the local Mormons. Something there?
I mean, there is something there. I mean, you gotta workshop it, and it has to be the right crowd.
For sure. But that's what I was thinking. It was freezing out. Haven't really whipped that joke out yet, mainly because it was soaking inside of itself. But
I mean, there's
how do we get on soaking again?
I don't know. We are basically one step away from talking about soaking in any single topic we talk
Honestly, if anyone is still listening,
Yeah.
just thanks for being with us.
Yeah.
Check us out on YouTube if you want, I guess.
Did you mean black cocks? if you did, then check us out on YouTube.
Was it crack?
We actually did grow a little bit on YouTube this week, so
Whoa!
fucking bring it in, boys.
Swear jar. You know what? One of these days, I'm gonna bring a swear jar. I'm gonna make sure you get a bunch of ones from the bank, and we're gonna have it here. We should almost make it for something like the swear jar. Should we have? Hold on, we're coming up on 200 episodes in 4 years.
I think we have it built in here because I have that pineapple thing. We put the pineapple in the middle, and we each get quarters every time you swear or say something that isn't allowed on radio. You put a quarter in. We each get a bunch of quarters.
A quarter? Let's get some. What is this? The 6th grade? We're men. We can't do $1. That incentivizes you not to. If it's just a quarter, I'd say fuck, and just put $1 in.
If you were in the 6th grade and you had Trident layers, you were getting laid that day.
Okay, Matt. I think we need to close the yearbook and
what else are we talking about?
the lunch box of Lunchables. Anyway, I signed up for my family. They're all going on vacation, and I decided to skip out on it just because I just don't need a vacation right now. I need to be here, working hard, being a good little boy. Haven't done those yet, but still working on it. And there's multiple dogs in the family. My brother and sister-in-law have 2 dogs. My sister has a dog. I'm like, you know what? I'll just stay back, and I'll just dog sit for you guys. So then my parents were like, you know what? Because I live in an apartment. I could have them there, but it's a whole thing. They're like, you can just stay here. So I'm staying at my old childhood home over this time. And then it dawned on me, for old time's sake, do I just throw a house party?
I don't know. Weichel weekend is something that we need to
Thank you.
talk about.
Should we just make it like a high school reunion where I only invite the people that I did like 12 years ago?
I'd be game.
Weichel weekend was pretty iconic.
Dude, the best part about it is today it came up on my Facebook story that I said being grounded is very hard, and I know my dad's going to listen to this. I said being grounded is really hard, and at the same point that I put that out on Facebook, I had about 40 people over at my parents' house. Clearfest 11.
Clearfest. So I just said this close the yearbook. Here we go. Again.
Yeah, well, needless to say, I got caught and got grounded for even longer, and then my dad made me make a piano bar during it. So, I mean, it was all said and done, but Yeah, I mean, a house party would be fun. Like, what's...
I just thought of it for old time's sake, and what happened to the art of house parties? Or do we just not mingle with the peers that do have house parties? I rarely go to a house party. I like it every once in a while, and it's like, hey, we're having a house party. I'm like, yes, sweet. We can be in the comfort of a home and drink for several hours on end. There's always multiple bedrooms, too. So it's like, well, I'm just going to crash here. I'm going to stay up late.
I mean, the thing about it now...
Shit with the door open.
Go on riverboat camping trips.
Oh.
Eat our own beef jerky.
People are like, why did you leave the door open again? Quit doing that.
Watching... Oh, never mind. I'm not going to say that. I was thinking about that. You said that, and it's like, having house parties is great. But if you want to go to bed...
No, it's not happening.
It's not happening. I mean, you're just like, oh, yeah, can you take care of the house? Yeah, I'm not going to trust any of my friends to be like, cool.
No, and there's no way I'm falling asleep if I'm hearing people, out in the kitchen, Sweet Caroline. But I'm not going to fall asleep during that. So it's actually perfect for me. I'm a night owl. I got to be like, the closer, if you will. Let's wind it down. Let's close it down. And that's what I do. I don't know. I've debated it. It would be funny, I think. Like I think I'm more doing it as a joke. I think if I actually were to follow through with this halfway through the house party, I'd be like, this is a huge mistake. Let's all go to the bar.
Yeah, I was literally thinking the exact same thing. It's like, all right, we'll start it at like 5. Everyone have dinner so you don't get too drunk.
Maybe I could grill some steaks, light them all on fire.
Yeah, Jordan burned his parents' house down, and then we went to the bar. As the fire department got there, it was real fun.
I don't know. It's an interesting thing. Have whatever happened to them.
I mean, I've been to some weird house parties that like you didn't mean to go to.
Yeah, I mean, I've been to plenty of houses after a night on the town.
That's what I'm talking about. It's like
I believe those are after parties, though. I'm talking about a full blown house party. You start there, you end there. Somebody rides a snowboard down the stairs.
I mean, that doesn't happen. Like even like Bertie Mac, he's been on the show. If you haven't seen Bertie Mac on the show, look it up. It was awesome. I went to his house for the Halloween party.
That was great. We really
and
took that one for granted.
He had like nachos like lined up and like all this food, and it was awesome. And then...
Yeah, you were a real hit at that party. People seemed to like you there.
What was I dressed as?
You wore that white retro jacket and jeans shorts, I believe. I think you were like an 80s person. An 80s ginger, perhaps.
Yeah, that was the last time I saw those. I actually had those sunglasses. Those were the last time I ever saw them. But I think like after we got to like 11 o'clock, or we were playing beer pong. So like I think it went to like a full blown house party. But I can't stay up that night because you know what happens when you plan a house party and when you're executing it, you drink.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to be the last one up. I'm the last one up when I go to someone else's house. And when you do a little other stuff.
You're an away game kind of guy. Home court advantage, too comfortable.
I mean, I went home from the bar and there were people walking. They're like, hey, there's this house party. It was not a house party. I got there. People were smoking cigarettes inside and just ashing onto the floor.
Indoors, huh?
It was nuts.
That's wild.
And I went to the bathroom to take a pee. I took a huge shit.
Matt.
I'm just kidding. I went, took a pee, and they were like, yeah, if this bucket gets too full underneath the sink, just dump it into the bathtub. And it was literally like a 1-gallon bucket. So every time you wash your hands, you'd be like, dump it in. I'm like, yeah, I got to get out of here. Luckily for me, it was like 2 blocks from my house.
Maybe we just need to bring smoking back to bars.
I've been a big proponent of we need to smoke on airplanes again.
Do we?
No, but like I think we need like the opportunity to.
They should have a lounge on the plane.
They had smoking sections. Just put a curtain up.
Oh yeah,
You're only on there for like an hour or two.
That's true.
Let the people smoke.
Maybe just crack a window.
Or let people vape is the thing. The big thing is like, don't vape. It's like, let them vape. Who cares?
You don't vape on a plane?
I've never done it.
Yeah, me neither. Very illegal.
But they also say don't chew on a plane. And one time I had a couple.
You can't chew on a plane?
No, they don't like it.
Why not? Because it's just a disgusting habit in general.
Yeah, I mean, I should definitely.
Like, it's not illegal. It's just frowned upon.
Yeah, I mean, I should definitely quit. But like, I had it, and then I was like, I gotta go take a pee after like 14 beers.
Let me guess. You took a huge shit instead.
No, I didn't.
Okay, now you're making me swear.
But
Jeez.
I did sit down and take a pee, but then that was
I'm trying to clean up my act, and you're not helping.
That was the time I couldn't get out of the bathroom. And I was like, keep going back and forth, just like kicking the door, trying to get out. And I finally got out.
You gotta
like,
jiggle it.
It was like, it wasn't a long time, but it was like 15 seconds of me just like not being able. And then I finally got out, and like I like had a bunch of beers like at the airport, and then I like locked eyes with the stewardess, and I was like, figured it out. And she was like, cool, go to your seat. And I was like, yes, ma'am.
You should have been like, I could have died in there.
Honestly, I should have just stayed in there. I mean, it's.
You have your phone with you?
Yeah, I think I did.
See, I would have.
Yeah, I was playing a game.
That's definitely what I would have done.
I'm a big game on the airplane.
I download a movie. Like, that's the last time I watched The Revenant. It was a recent, when I flew to Arizona. And it's such a long movie, I actually made it to my destination before finishing the movie. So I had a few rollover minutes for the flight back, which was nice.
Ooh, yeah. See, I just play like one game that I have on my phone that takes forever.
I'm really proud of myself, though, ever since making my rule of not drinking alcohol before or during flights. It's been great. Now, if I could just transition that to my life, we're going to be golden.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Like, on the way there, not great.
I like not doing it. I feel like it helps me survive a little bit on my trip.
See, I wouldn't drink if I didn't get upgraded to first class. Then it would be fiscally irresponsible for me not to drink.
I would just go buy the little shooters. I know we're on a plane, probably shouldn't say that, but
I mean,
the miniature bottles of booze I would buy, put them in a paper bag, request that at the liquor store, put it in your bag, and nobody's going to say anything. Now, if they catch you...
You unlocked that for me in my life. And
was that when we went to Chicago?
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the last times I drank because we got a nice buzz on.
Yep.
And then halfway through the flight, ran out of booze and like got really tired. Then we get to Chicago, finally get to our hotel after going to the wrong hotel. First 3 hours that Matt and I were in Chicago, Jersey Shore. Each just laying on our hotel bed, not saying a word, watching Jersey Shore. All of a sudden, Andrew Luck retires. It was a whole weekend.
Yeah.
I mean there was a lot going on.
It was nuts. We can get out of here because this is absolutely fucking dumb.
Swear jar. Well, that's the name of the show. It's called No Brains, No Headache. Our insurance policy, actually. If you don't like it, that's on you for watching and listening to a show called No Brains, No Headache. I don't feel too bad. We did that on purpose. You know? Like our when we were coming up with names for the show, I was just looking around the room.
Duck Couch.
No,
that would have been a good idea.
No, I feel like at one point our best name option was Lysol Couch. And looking back on it, maybe we could have been onto something there.
Yeah, Lysol Couch is not a bad idea.
Yeah, makes me concerned about what's going on the couch, that you need the Lysol. But that's a different story for a different day. Matt, how can our loyal listeners, keep up with what's going on? What the heck is going on? Tell them.
on all social media platforms, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube. Search No Brains, No Headache. You got us there. And then if you feel really fruity, and when I say I mean Jordan will buy you whatever you want if you leave a review.
With the stolen money from Matt's drawer. I will definitely do that.
On Apple Podcasts. Go ahead and do that. Then we'll get out of here.
We will incentivize you with alcohol. Next up, episode 198. Play the song.
Play the song.
Let's try it. 1, 2.
We're not going to do it over, so just...
Up next, episode 198.
Well, hello.
Oh, fuck. 1, 2. Next up, episode 198.
This is a freestyle off the top of the dome. Here we go. And I do it again. I do it only once. Again. I do it only once. I go down that river slow to the place I shoot like Carmelo. I'm living my life and we go hard, floating on the river in a party barge. And I see you on a sea-doo. Your shirt was white and it was see-through. Please use your spray, no mosquitoes. Every time you found me, it's a free throw. Hey girl, why you calling me? I said, oh please don't bother me. I'm so sick of apologies. That's so damn up.